Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's Danny Limelight. And I need all of you to subscribe to According to Woods podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and all other platforms.
What's going on?
What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of talking to mi hermano. He is a mixed martial artist. He's the one and only young assassin. He's Alexis Esquivel. What's going on, Alexis?
I'm doing good, man. Chilling here, man. Just trying to figure it out. I like your intro, bro. That show was pretty sweet.
I appreciate that, good sir. Man, and I'm free-flowing with information. Like, that shit was done on Fiverr for $20. Just saying.
That's right.
So, I think that it's the new radicals that said, we're flat broke, but we do it in style. So that's it. So, bro, like, what's been up, man? I mean, 2020 was crazy. I know, as the year began, you wanted to get more reps in terms of your fight career and what have you. Obviously, come March, it threw a wrench in all of that. So, like, what have you been up to?
Not just regular life, man. Trying to stay busy, just working. I was hopeful. I was trying to fight February this 2020, and then the pandemic hit in March. I had an opponent supposedly, but he had pulled out or something happened. I'm not sure what happened, but it didn't happen. And yeah, man, I'm just trying to stay busy, bro. I've been just working,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Everybody's trying to figure it out. I was literally, when I found out things were kind of shut down, I was actually on my way to the Lights Out Extreme Fighting weigh-ins, right? That was February 12th at Commerce Casino, the weigh-ins, and then the fights would happen on February 13th, that Friday.
Yeah.
And I got there. You've been to Commerce, right? You know where to go. I knew where to go, so went up to that second floor, the ballroom there, and there's no cage. Not even the chairs are set up. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, and then I went on their Instagram page, and literally on my 20-minute ride from the house to Commerce Casino, everything had been canceled.
It just happened like that? Like, you were
I was like, no, I mean, even the fighters thought that day, they didn't get a call until maybe 10 o'clock. I think it was at noon, right? So everybody started getting the call about, like, I want to say, like, maybe 10:30.
Oh, fuck no. Imagine how frustrating that must have been for those guys, man. Like that like the hard camp and all that shit, and then the day of, they tell you, nah.
And weight cutting, too. I mean, you've been under weight cuts, right? You're not in the best of moods, right? And then in the weight cut, and you're like, oh, it's all for nothing.
There's a quick test run.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not everybody can be like Tony Ferguson and, like, not yet the fight and still cut weight and make weight for nobody else but himself. Shout out to Tony.
That's craziness, man.
Yeah.
That's craziness.
But that's kind of the fight sports atmosphere, right? Like, you got to be a bit crazy, right? Or even like I would even say, because some of the smartest people that I know reside in MMA, so it's not like everybody's crazy. It's just like, again, you're a skilled savage. You're you're an articulate pugilist, And what I want to know is, how did you get involved in combat sports?
I actually have this friend. His name is Shane Martinez. We don't really talk no more, but this dude was obsessed with what's his name, Jose Aldo. Was like, that was his thing, Yeah, he was one of my older brother, Edwin. He was one of his friends. I was 13 at the time. I was 12 at the time, and he was like, "Oh, you know what MMA is? Like, you should check it out, blah blah." And he was like, we would go to the Compton Park, and like, we would go and hit mitts and shit like that. And I was a little kid, I didn't know nothing, and he was like, "Okay, we hit the mitts for like 10 minutes. And then he's like, okay, let's spar. So we put the gloves on, and then like we just started fighting. I'm not gonna lie, he fucked me up. I was a kid though, you know. And then it's crazy. I don't even know why I did that, but I think like my way of thinking and just like my perception of things, it changed completely because after that I was like I just got obsessed. I started just studying on YouTube, just watching fights every day, every night, just just obsessing with the sport and that's how it started, and then I found the Tap Out gym in downtown. I was 14 when I started training there. And that's when I started training legit, like actually going to the gym and actually learning. And yeah, that's how I started. This kid was like, let's go to the park. And then after that, I just got hooked. I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to get better. Yeah.
What the hell? I mean, again, for those who don't know, right, the Tap Out Gym in LA was the precursor to what you see now in terms of UFC gym. The partnership
Yeah.
and Dana White and the company thinking so well of, Skyscrape, Punk Ass, and Charles Mass Lewis, and Charles' name
Yeah.
is still on the octagon, right? And he will never be taken off. But that was supposed to be like the template for what would be tap out gyms all over. And then
Yeah.
after Mass passes away, then they're just like, oh well, why don't we just do it? And they became the UFC gyms.
Yeah. That gym went through a lot of changes. It was actually pretty cool. They changed its name like maybe like 3 times. But there's a bunch of good fighters that started there actually. Like I learned a lot. I learned a lot of lessons in that gym for sure. I mean, I met Matthew Spencer there, my coach, Rob Rodriguez. I met those guys when I was like 14, 15. Yeah, and I met Danny when he was an amateur. Um, Daniel Rodriguez,
Yeah.
Mario Lopez, Jacob, Giovanni. We all met like everybody on the 5 Star Fight team. We all met as kids, pretty much. Just training there, just fucking around. Just pretty much just to train. And then when all of us were becoming of age, Rob kind of like reached out to us, like scattered us out, like, hey, if you guys want to fight, let's get together and make a fight team. And then that's pretty much how it started. They guided us, man. They did a lot for us. They saw the potential in us that we didn't see, and for that I appreciate them for sure.
No, 1,000%. And man, my head is swarming because, like, you were 14? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell. I think I was watching, like, South Park and what have you at 14. I didn't know shit from apple butter, to be honest with you, at 14. I kind of don't know shit from apple butter now, but I digress. But I mean, 14, I mean, I remember the first time that I stepped in, it was right before it ended up kind of closing down,
yeah,
but like being at the tap out gym and going like, oh shit, right? As an adult, a 30 something year old adult, um, let alone a 14-year-old kid, and I didn't get rounds, you did. That's crazy.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. I was just like, it feels like so long ago. I don't even know. I didn't even know how to put into words what I was thinking as a 14-year-old kid. Like, oh, I want to fight. I don't know. I feel like it just happened quickly. And when I was in there, when I was in the gym, I just really applied myself. Like I really, for some reason, I was just really interested. Like I just wanted to learn. And I always told Rob, like, I'd be a little kid, I'd be the little kid right there telling Rob, like, hey, I want to do MMA. I want to be in the UFC. And then I would just bug him, and then eventually he reached out to me like, hey, if you really want to fight, let's do this. And then that's how it pretty much started. I debuted my first amateur fight at, I think I was 18. What was it, 2016, May? But yeah, it was, yeah, he pretty much just showed me the way. Matthew Spencer too, man. Those guys, they really like showed me what to do and really got me ready and really taught me how to really believe in myself.
And that's crucial. That's absolutely crucial. Now, Jesse Velasquez says, yep, that's legit. Grew up in the game and started fighting with your boys. And it's
Yeah.
crazy because all of you guys, right? When you talk about Matthew Spencer, we were talking about epic fighting and Sparstar MMA champion, and where's he? Like Brown? He's belted
He's a
by,
brown.
yeah,
He should be black by now. He should be a black belt by now. Dude's
yes.
got a lot of knowledge.
Yes, 100%. You were talking about, Mario Lopez, not AC Slater. Because fuck
Yeah.
that Puto. Because I saw some shady shit that he did at a boxing card, and I was like, fuck that Puto. So, so I'm just saying,
Bro.
you know. Um, so, but I mean, all of you guys have been champions, in some form or facet in your career. And I think
Yeah.
it's crazy that you guys just like started out as young whippersnappers in the damn gym.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I look back on those days, man. Those are some of the best. Those are some good times I could look back on for sure. It's like those times when you're training just to train because it's fun, and then when you're training to fight, it's different. It's still fun, but it's just different when you're just doing it. Just okay, let's go to the gym. It's just
Yes. No, 100%. And Harvey Cast, shout out to you, Harvey. You're the real MVP. Great story about how it started, champ. Shout out to my bantamweight champion, the Young Assassin. And yes, you are
hey, what's up,
the
Harvey?
former Epic Fighting bantamweight champion down there in San Diego. So shout out to Epic Fighting. They will be back.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back in there soon, man. I'm trying to get one title defense before I get out of here.
Yee, son. So what I want to know, I mean, excuse me for being a broken record, but like as a 14-year-old kid, right? Like,
Yeah,
set the stage for me. Like, who was in there? You mentioned some of the people, but I mean, I have to imagine just kind of looking at history. I mean, Eddie Bravo was there. That was HQ, wasn't it?
yeah. Eddie Bravo was there, but he was mostly during the night, and I was a kid at the time, so I couldn't really like stick around. I think I'd probably like I'd get there like at 6 and I'd leave like at 8:30. Like I'd just be there all day, just fucking, just bugging people. And then I would be training mostly with Scott Ross. I don't know if you know who Scott Ross is. He's a black belt
Yes.
under yeah,
Hell
he's a black belt under
yes.
Eddie Bravo. That guy took me to my first jiu-jitsu tournament when I was 15. Um, yeah, I was training under him mostly. When I first got there, there was this I'm not sure what because I got there when before 10th Planet got there.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was this I don't know his name, but he would teach me no gi. But it wasn't really like the gym system until Eddie Bravo and he came and took it over and it changed the game. It changed my grappling for sure, like for the better for sure. But yeah, it was a lot of new faces really because it was an open gym. So it was only like a select few people who would be there every day, and even the people on the fight team now like Giovanni, Mario, Jacob, like it's not like we would like see each other every day, but we would just see each other around and train with each other once in a while. But it was a lot of different faces, a lot of different looks. It helped me get used to just seeing a bunch of different styles for sure.
Now, obviously, this is a long way from just hitting mitts for 10 minutes at a time and beating the shit out of each other at 10, right? So, I mean,
Yeah.
when did you start to feel it come together?
Um, I feel like the exact moment I can pinpoint it to is probably when I was like 16. There's this guy. His name is Hanzo Aquino. Hanzo.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, that guy. Like we would just like he'd had a couple amateur fights at the time, and I was like, oh, I'm a fighter. And then so we would go some rounds, but this dude would just like fuck me up, like he just mix it together so well, and his conditioning was so much better than mine. So when he started opening my eyes to the next level, that's when I started like really trying to like, okay, this is what works and this is what doesn't. And then this is it. Like I started running. I hated running, but then I started had to get my cardio up and stuff like that. Like it happened about 17, maybe. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, if I'm a fight, I need to really mix it together. It stopped being just about fighting and more about like actually being present, and just not just going all crazy and just thinking about what you're actually gonna do.
Now, from there, right? Uh, is the was this around the time that you were getting coached by Scott Ross and parlaying everything that you're learning to jujitsu? What was there a kind of a concerted effort? Because again, you kind of were influenced, by your brother's friend, in Jose
Yeah.
Aldo. So, did you feel you're getting one step closer to the eventual goal of being an MMA fighter?
Yeah. I feel like what it was at first is I was training everything individually, like by itself. I would do jujitsu like the first hour of the class, and then I would go do striking with James Poydog the second hour, and then the third hour would just be conditioning with Jamie Yeager,
Oh
because he was
yeah,
one of the coaches
Jaeger.
at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it was just kind of like I just had to kind of learn it on my own really until Matt and Rob brought us together, and they were like, if you're gonna fight, we're gonna learn how to mix it together. So that's when we started doing our drills and and just doing all that MMA stuff. But before then, it was really just kind of okay, you're gonna take this class, and then you're gonna do this class, and then you're gonna do that. But yeah, those guys really helped me mix it together for sure.
That's tremendous. So, uh, I mean, right around the time, is that when you started doing the jujitsu, or I mean, or and how much longer did you kind of wait and start training towards your eventual MMA debut?
I always knew I wanted to do MMA. Like I started with jujitsu first. Um, I was like 14 and I started doing jujitsu first. Like I kind of fell in love with grappling, and then so I was just really into jujitsu, and then I was just really like scrappy on the floor, like just pressure. And then I met Rob, and then he was like, "You gotta learn how to wrestle," because I was just naturally just like aggressive. And then I learned how to wrestle, and it kind of it was more towards my style, so I became like an offensive wrestler, and then I just kind of mixed my jujitsu in there. I don't really play off my back, but yeah, I started with jujitsu, and eventually I started doing kickboxing with James Poydog. I don't know if you know him, but he was one of the coaches right there at Tap Out LA. Kathy Long as well. She's a
Wow.
kickboxer that she used to train there as well. She's bad, man. She would always beat us up and shit. Like she was
Kathy
tough.
Long's a Hall of Famer. Like that's
Yeah,
just
yeah, no,
not
she's
some
tough.
not some kickboxer. Kathy Long is like been doing like especially women's combat sports before that shit was cool. Before Layla
Yeah,
Ali, before like all of the Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano's, and everything. Although they are pioneers, but Kathy
yeah,
Long was doing that shit like 5, 10 years before any of them.
yeah. It was crazy because she would be holding mitts for me, and we'd be doing our thing, and then I didn't know that she was like a fighter, and then I seen her highlights, and I was like, bro, this girl's crazy. Yeah, that lady's tough, man. She's tough.
Still tough. I mean, it's not in the past tense. Kathy Long is still legit as fuck.
Yeah, for sure.
So, so, talk to me because now you're figuring out things to kind of put together for the eventual path to MMA, right? So, talk to
Yeah.
me about the preparation for your first fight and how long in your career were you training for this fight?
Um. So this was I debuted May 2016, and it was probably like a 4 month camp. But it's crazy because I had turned 18. I was already like I was working, and I was trying to do my adult stuff, right? I just turned 18, and then I wasn't really in the gym that much. I would be in there here and there, and then Rob was like, "Hey, if you're trying to fight, we can help you out." And then I just kind of dropped everything, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go to the gym." And then yeah, from there we just kind of started working towards it. It was pretty much like 4 months before my first fight. That's when I went into my camp. But I had always known. I just didn't know when I was gonna do it. And then luckily, this guy presented the opportunity to me, and I took advantage because I knew that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, we did a 4 month camp with Matt, Rob, Dewan, Rob, what's his name, Giovanni, Mario, my brother, Jacob Rockymore, um, and a few other guys. Danny would be there once in a while, but I'll do his big. You know, he's like, I can't fuck with the 170 years.
Ooh.
He's
Right?
big. But yeah, just they would help me out a lot. Dewan actually for my first, Dewan,
Yes.
Dewan, he would he definitely pushed me. He was like my main training partner for my debut for sure. He was like he helped me get to the next level, helped me break through the cardio, to actually get ready for a full fight. Yeah.
That's sick. That's sick. Now, Yukis over on YouTube says, Esquivel. I'm going to fuck up the pronunciation, so I'm going to let you have that one.
Ese es este güey es un chingón.
There it is.
That's
There it
funny.
is. So, in terms of like that, where was that first fight? Like, at what promotion? And
Oh,
because there's a lot of them here in Southern California
yeah.
pre-pandemic, But what was the first one for you?
It was for Spar Star in the Hollywood Park Casino before. It was,
Damn.
I think it was the last one at the casino. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy I got to fight it before they stopped it. But it was right there. It was against Carlos Morales. Due to I actually lost my first MMA fight, but he was kind of hugging me up against the cage. But it's another story. But yeah, that dude went on to get it. Like he actually had a good amateur career. He's doing his thing. Shout out to Carlos Morales. But yeah, it was in the Hollywood Park Casino for Spar Star. Yeah.
Damn. And I mean, again, you are fighting at Sparstar MMA where, Daniel Rodriguez is a former champion. Your coach, Matthew
Yeah.
Spencer, is a former champion, right? So you are the student where your teammate and your coach essentially won championship gold. Was that kind of like nerve wracking? Was that nerve inducing?
Not really. It was kind of just motivational. Like I was like, okay, if these guys see it for me, then there's no reason why I shouldn't believe in myself. I'm good enough to do it. I don't know. The reassurance it's motivating. They're like, hey, we know you can do it. We know you're better than these guys. I just gotta. Yeah, to have those guys in my corner and to for them to motivate me is I think that's the key factor for me for sure. That's my brother.
Hey, what's that guy doing?
What's
Yo,
up, man?
long time no see. And again, a family that fights together stays together, and that's what you guys are. And he he says, "Oh, sorry, you don't speak Spanish. This fool's a badass." Okay, I do. Yo habla español. Mi español es más o menos. Mi basura. So how about that? There you go.
That's right.
Yeah. So after that first one, I mean, that was kind of a oh man, to lose your first one, especially training so long, so hard for this, having, you know, I mean, legends of the gym essentially help you out with this training camp and what have you. Were you
Yeah.
discouraged at all, or did you kind of just go, "Oh, this is just a bump in the road. I'm just gonna keep on
Um.
doing my thing."
Yeah, I wasn't discouraged. I was a little like, ah, damn, but I wasn't like it wasn't gonna stop me and my traction and everything. It kind of felt more like it just motivated me really. After that fight, I realized that I need to be out of the shin guards, because that shit helps a lot when they're down on your hips and you're like trying to fight them off and they're just kind of grabbing onto your shit. I didn't get taken down, but I was being held up against the fence. So that kind of taught me like I need to fight with more urgency. It's just one of those things that I took it like, a lesson more than anything. It's a little cliche, but that's for sure what I took it as, and it taught me a lesson. It got me ready for the next one. I came with some more intensity for the next fight, and I was just thinking like as long as I didn't get fucked up, then I'm good. Like I was in there and there was a fight and I was hitting this guy, so I mean I just kind of felt like oh fuck it. I was just excited for the next one more than anything.
Which, for those, just to give it a little bit of context, but, the California Amateur Mixed Martial Arts Organization, better known as CAMO, that's the governing body here for, amateur MMA here in the state of California. And if you've got, I think it's less than 3 fights,
Yeah,
then you're basically shinned up. So you wear shin pads.
yeah. I think it's 3 fights with a winning record. Like if you're 0-3, I think you keep the shin guards on. I think
Maybe a
I'm not.
helmet too. I mean, kind of 0-3.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Not
yeah,
that the
yeah. You
helmet
probably
ever
keep them on.
fucking make. Not that the helmet makes a fucking difference. You get knocked out,
Yeah.
and you get knocked
No,
out.
it's no helmet. It's just the shin guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, in terms of leading up, do you start to feel a change in yourself? Because, like, obviously, you and your brother are training, and all of these other young lions are essentially, training with you. There's a there's like a synergy of the team aspect because I've been
Yeah.
fortunate enough to see you guys all kind of congregate together, and yes, differences happen because things happen, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just like a family, right? But
Yeah.
like when it comes down to fight, man, you guys look at each other and like, motherfucker, we doing this shit.
Yeah, for sure. All of us get real hyped up. Everybody just stares and shit. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're family. We're in there and we're blood, sweat, and tears. Really, we're pushing each other. And when it's actually time to fight, it's like this is what we're here to do. This is what it's all for. So when one of us is up there, it feels like like family is up there for sure.
No,
Yeah.
1,000%. Now, Don McGuire of the Fighter's Voice wants to know who is the present day mentor that is pushing you down your path.
For sure, Rob, Rob Rodriguez and Matthew Spencer. Those two guys, they, you know, things haven't gotten a little different because of the pandemic, but we're still checking in. Still doing our thing. At the time, currently, I'm actually training at CMMA. Um, yeah, with
Chad
Chad
George
George.
and
Yeah, Chad
Josh
George and them.
Barnett.
Yeah, good work. Yeah, Josh Barnett, Ozzy Diaz is up there.
Yeah,
What's his name? Johnny Robles is up there too.
yes.
A bunch of good guys up there, but yeah, Robert Rodriguez and Matthew Spencer are definitely the guys.
That's tremendous. Which I want to ask, right? Because 2020 and even into 2021, the first couple months, right? Here in California, things, gyms, and everything are pretty much shut down, right? So, how have you been able to keep the motivation? Because that's one of the things, like, I kind of feel like, and I've had it told to me, where, the amateur fighters that are trying to get it together before they turn pro are almost forced into the professional ranks
Yeah,
because those are the only shows that are going.
yeah. I really just it's hard to stay motivated. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm only human, and I do what I can when I can. Like I'm not training full time right now, but I'm still training. I'm just trying to stay busy, man. Just trying to keep my head focused. Yeah, I'm just trying to stay busy with that because I be getting distracted, and that's what Matt and Robert are there for. Because my mind goes elsewhere sometimes, and they're like, "Hey, you gotta get in the gym," you know.
No, 1,000%. And shout out to Robert Rodriguez, who just competed at High Rollers BJJ in Las Vegas. I mean, I think
Yeah,
he crushed it. And again, he is an Eddie Bravo black belt. Before that, he was like a collegiate wrestler to the
yeah,
umpteenth degree. I mean, he's built like a brick shithouse, and then there's a lawyer on top of that. I really feel like I'm not doing enough when I'm around Robert Rodriguez.
yeah, dude. Like Robert's something else, man. He's that right. Robert's something else. That dude's cool, man. I owe that man a lot for sure.
Yes, and Matt Spencer, I mean, this is a. I mean, I always call him Pretty Ricky because that dude, he's almost Cisco esque. I mean, but he, again, does so much. I mean, he's doing like massage and whatever, and then he can kick your
Yeah,
ass. A fucking, stellar football talent, out there in Watts, California. And it's just like, again, I'm not doing enough. I fucking like 5 podcasts a day. It's not enough. It's fucking not enough. All my friends are doing crazier shit than I am.
nah, that guy's a workaholic, man, for sure. He gets it in for sure. Man, he's doing his thing.
Absolutely. Now, Harvey, giving a little bit more clarification. Actually, you need 3 fights to remove the shins, but a winning record doesn't necessarily apply. So you could be 1-2 as long as you got three
Okay,
fights. You can remove the shins. So thank you, good sir.
okay, cool.
Yeah. So I mean, Harvey's chiming in, right? So I want to ask,
Yeah,
right?
hey,
Because you are
Harvey's the man.
Harvey's the man. Harvey's the man. Hashtag good brother there. Now, you winning the epic fighting bantamweight title. Take us back to that night. I might have even been there. So I mean,
Yeah,
um,
you def-
yeah, I was there. So I mean, I kind of know the way it happened, but I wasn't in the cage. Not until after, and everything was getting
yeah,
taken down to take the picture with the roaring Carlos Kremer and Harvey. But I mean,
yeah,
you won the title that night. Again,
yeah,
there are so many people, right, that get into this sport and they don't assume a championship, whether it be amateur or pro. That had to be a special damn night for you.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like it was a long time coming because I had came to fight for the belt against Trevor Wells twice before, and they were well contested fights, and they those two fights taught me more than anything that I really deserve to be there, you know. And I just felt like it was my time, really. My opponent, shout out to Sergio, but I just knew that I was better than him, and I knew I could beat him. The camp was great, you know. My diet, my meal preps, it was everything just lined up perfectly, and yeah, no, everything went according to plan. I knew he was gonna throw his front kick and all that. I was, you know, he has that bad habit of throwing front kicks down the middle, and I'm the type of guy to catch him, you know. But yeah, he I don't know, kind of fell into it, to be honest. But it was a good night. It was a good night. It was we had worked hard for that one. Everybody, Matt, more than anything, we're like, this is our time, you know. We're gonna take this belt home, and I appreciate Harvey for giving me the opportunity, you know, not once but twice, but you know, 3 times. So yeah,
No, 100%. And again, you're you're you've won a championship that Matthew Spencer himself won. Like
yeah,
that's fucking cool, man.
yeah. I felt like I made Matt proud that day for sure.
Oh, you
That's what I'm looking forward to. Really, is you know I want to tell Matt like, hey, I did it. You know, like, and it was a special moment for sure. Yeah, it was nice, man.
now. I mean, I'd be remiss not to talk about that the fight with Trevor Wells, which I was there for too. Trevor
Yeah,
Wells, you know, you two were like the two hottest fucking bantamweights on
yeah,
the amateur scene that there was at the time, and it was just like to me, it was a collision course. Like
mm,
it was like. I mean, I don't know, like Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior back in the day. Like,
yeah,
fucking, what the fuck is gonna happen, man? Like,
yeah,
and you lost that night, but how much more special did that make your eventual title win mean after kind of like you know not getting it the first time and then second time around you get that opportunity, you worked your way back up, and
yeah,
like you said, everything was the stars aligned, your weight cut, your diet plan, everything aligned, and again his style, his kind of weakness,
yeah,
that Sergio had, played into your strengths, so it was
yeah.
almost perfect.
I mean, that fight with Trevor, he put me on game for sure. Just as that dude's sneaky, he's slick, and he's smooth with his fighting for sure. Shout out to Trevor, that dude's good. Me and him are really good friends now. Um, I have to give him his respect, man. That dude, you know, he did his thing, and it was a fun fight for sure. No, it taught me, you know, taught me the next level for sure. That you know that they taught me the lesson I needed to learn. And I
That's
gotta
it.
sprawl
But
more.
right, but that's the thing. The lessons that lay within, combat sports were, I mean, just like we just saw, right? So, I mean, Usman just put,
Oh,
got
go with Burns.
Burns, right? Put him away with jabs, right?
Yeah,
Like something so simplistic,
mm,
but I mean, it rocked fucking Gilbert Burns' world, no
yeah.
doubt.
I had Burns picked too. Not gonna lie, I thought Burns was gonna take it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I might have as well because I thought like Usman's like knees were shot. I know for sure, I'm never picking against Usman again.
Yeah, yeah. That dude's good, man. He's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking.
I mean, is he gonna sell pay-per-views? That's another story. But I mean, he's a fucking good, phenomenal fighter.
He's a good fighter. He's a little cheesy, but he's a good fighter.
I agree, 100%. Now Harvey wants to know. I love this, and asked the young assassin the first thing he ever told me at Epic Fighting. Do you remember? I feel like Phil Collins. Do you remember? But go ahead.
Yeah, I seen him and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna fight for your belt one day, and I'm gonna be a champion." As it like, I told him as soon as I met him, as soon as I seen him, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be a champion. I'm gonna fight for your belt one day. I wanted to fight the Kim brothers. You know those two twins?
Yes, the
Yeah.
fucking Twin Dragons. I saw them in their last fight at Epic, where they both won the fucking California State title
Yeah.
and the Epic title. Fucking hell, those two
Yeah.
are ninjas.
Those dudes are fucking good.
Ninjas.
I don't know.
Ninjas.
I don't know what I was thinking, but I was for some reason I was just on them. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but if I don't know, I just feel like if I wouldn't be at the top, then I gotta aim for the people at the top. We're in the same league if you think about it, but I mean, those guys are they pro now?
I might think that they've continued their studies. Don't quote me on it. I don't. Harvey might chew me up if I get this wrong. But I want to say that they were both in college and they kind of went that route. I don't know if they turned pro or not. But again, when you're a brother, I mean, you're a brother of somebody with involved in the fight scene as well, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you guys capturing each
Yeah.
the most coveted prize in California amateur MMA in the California state title, and you guys both do it individually. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
fucking hell.
That's pretty dope. Yeah, no, shit, those guys are doing their thing. I want to see what they're gonna do in the pros, man. Those guys are sharp. If I would have fought them at the time, oh my god, it would have been a bad night for me.
Mine might not have been too good, but Gabe Michael Guerrero, shout out to you, good sir, and the Gone 3 fight lifestyle. So shout out to you and the boys, and I will take this time to send our condolences to the Glaza family, as Jason Glaza, a incredible human being and a member of our combat sports community, unfortunately passed away last night. So just sending all love and positivity to the Glaza family. Thank you, Jason. Yeah. So, and agreed. And the Twin Dragons are pro now, and yep, they went pro pretty recently, so they are pro.
That's right. They're gonna do their thing for sure. I'm trying to see where the career goes to.
Nice. Now, is that something that once you kind of turn the switch and go pro? I mean, are you still kind of there?
Like,
you want to?
They're doing their thing. Yeah, they're doing their thing. I mean, right now, we're just focusing on my next amateur fight. I really want to defend the Epic belt. I want to hear and still at least one time. Yeah, at least one time. I'm waiting for that for sure.
No, absolutely. It's that adage of you don't. It's easier to win the belt the first time rather than defend it. Keeping the belt, that's the hardest part because you're at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, they say not champion until you defend. So I'm trying to defend. And the Epic, the promotion, Epic, it looks cool. You know what I mean? Like I want to do it again. I want to fight there again. It's a good promotion. The best in Southern California for sure.
1,000%. And much alofas, says Gabriel. Much alofas to you and the boys. And they did pretty well at an amateur competition. So shout out to the Guerrero boys. They're doing their thing. Also at CMMA. So there you go.
There we go.
Yeah. And I'm glad to see this warrior on the show. No, absolutely. I had to have him on. I was like, he's probably going to tell me no. He's going to be like, I've done interviews with you before. Maybe I'm going to say no. Yeah. I was super excited. I didn't expect you to say yes, honestly.
Yeah, I'm always down for it.
Well, again, I appreciate it. Now, you training now, and getting rounds at CMMA, right? Again, we mentioned that is the gym of Chad the Savage George. That is where essentially the War Master in UWFI USA, that team trains out of. So did you get the blessing from, Coach Rob and Coach Matt to kind of get there, since I mean, nothing else is really open right now, even their gym.
I talked to them about it. I told them, I was like, hey, like if I'm just not training, like working out at home is different. For
Yeah.
me, I feel like I have to be in the gym, like really, really in there. And I gotta stay busy, man, because I'll get distracted and do some stupid shit. So I gotta really stay in the gym. And I told them, I was like, hey, I think it's best for me to really just get in this gym. And do you know Batman? They call him Batman. He's a
Yeah.
35er from Saxon.
Yes. Mike
Michael. Yeah,
Mazarigo. Yeah.
yeah. He was like, he reached out to me, and he was just, like, hey, we can use a body like you, come through. And yeah, he plugged me in. He talked to Chad George about me, and Chad George, like, he told me to come in one day. And yeah, I just been training there, here and there, trying to just trying to
So are you going back and forth with CMMA and Saxon, or just CMMA?
what was that?
I said, are you going back and forth from CMMA and Saxon, or
No, I'm not training at Saxons, just
okay?
CMMA. Yeah, and doing my I'm trying to go back to the South LA boxing as well. But I'm more focused on just working a regular job right now, just staying busy. As soon as like Camo opens back up, then that's when I'm gonna get my camp, full on. But yeah, for right now, I'm just kind of taking it slow. There's no sense in beating up my body, you know. If there's no, fights anytime soon, so I'm just trying to stay, healthy.
No, 100%. And Gabe says that no is not in your vocabulary, good sir. So there's that. For anybody that thinks it is, there you go. I mean, again, Gone 3 lifestyle. So shout out to Gone 3. Now, how has it been, kind of getting different looks? Because, again, you started your career with
Yeah,
Coach Rob and Matt. I mean, many would argue that you wouldn't have a career if not for them, right? And I
yeah,
know
for
there
sure.
could be some contention that happens, but they gave you their blessing, and now it's another powerhouse team in
Yeah,
Chad George and Josh Barnett, and they're guys and girls there. So
yeah.
how's it been kind of adapting to this new situation for you?
Um, it's a room full of killers, man. Everybody in there, they're fighters. It's not like a open workout gym. Where everybody's there for a reason. And yeah, man, it's pressure for sure. Those dudes, they're all in shape. They all got this like forward pressure that I need for sure. Yeah, man, those dudes are good. Johnny Robles is there, the 145. He was a state champion.
Yes, he was.
That dude be putting it on me, man. That dude's good, bro. But yeah, it's good. It's a new look for sure. It's something that I needed. It developing my MMA for sure. These guys are savages.
Yeah, man, and that has to, have a new paint. I want to say paint of coat, but coat of paint when you eventually return to Epic and defend your title. Like you're gonna have all of these moves. And again, you said
Yeah,
Johnny Robles is a former, California state title
yeah,
holder, right? He won that at Epic. I
yeah.
I was there, and
Yeah. I think we fought the
so.
same night actually.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
So that has to be kind of cool to kind of return with the teachings and the training sessions behind you of a former champion. I mean, that's as high as you can go in California, right?
yeah,
The promotional title as well as the state title. And this is somebody that's done it there, and he's getting rounds with you.
yeah, for sure. It's like those dudes are good. There's a lot of people in there. There's too many to name, but there's a lot of people who are they, they're really doing their thing in there. They're pushing each other, and those guys are in there every day. I wish I could be in there with them every day, but I got to work and stuff like that. But when I can, I go there. I get in, I get rounds in with them. But yeah, it's definitely different. It's not something that I'm used to. Really, there's a lot of people in there. There's like, and
Hmm.
they're all fighters. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's a good environment for sure. Everybody pushes each other. Nobody's like slacking.
No.
All those guys are really tight. It's a little different for me because I'm new there. But I'm there for the work. It's I appreciate the work that they give.
No, 1,000%. Now, I mean, it's crazy to me because again, if your brother's friend hadn't, said, "Hey, you should try this," and those rounds in the park, right? Do you ever imagine your your life if you hadn't found that person? Because again, like you said, like you guys don't even talk anymore. You don't know what that guy is, but you have,
Yeah.
uh, uh, you know, even in your amateur career, attained a championship level belt as well as performance, right? So, do you ever imagine like, man, if I weren't fighting, what the hell would I be doing?
Damn, who knows, man? Nothing good for sure. Like I don't know what I'd be doing, man. I'm thankful though that this sport gave me a sense of direction, and really taught me discipline, and you know, it teaches you what hard work. That hard work pays off, really. I don't even know what I would be doing without the sport, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no,
I'd be up to no
100%.
good.
There you go. Now, Harvey, I mean, again, we're glad that that's not happening. That you are doing good, not just in your life, but also your fight career. And speaking of fight career, Harvey says Max Red Velvet Gamboa wants to fight you for the epic track when we get back.
Yeah, I need that. Yeah, we were supposed to fight already, but some shit happens. But yeah, I'm ready for it, man. That dude, he needs a whooping.
Ooh, Jesus, Jesus. Man, that's nuts. That's nuts. Which I gotta ask, right? Because everything kind of shut down and what have you. Assuming everything returns to a semblance of normal, right? Because I don't think anything will get back to what we knew it prior to March 2020. I don't think here in California it'll get there until maybe a year and a half year from now. But assuming that there's some sense of normalcy and it is safe to go fight again, maybe in the summer, right?
Yeah,
How would you like this time next year to kind of play out?
this time next year. Um, Shit. I really just hope that we can fight in the summer, but who knows? Maybe if I fight in the summer, get the title defense. Maybe I fight one more time early 2022. But I do want to make the jump to go pro for sure. I want to get a few more, just a few more rounds in the amateurs. Fight some tough people before I make the jump. But yeah, I definitely want to go pro. I want to go to that next level, but I got to straighten some things out.
Now, assuming the fight with Red Velvet happens, one, and then assuming that you defend the title successfully, would that last amateur fight would that potentially be you gunning for the California State Championship?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm hoping for. Like, hopefully, I defend, and then the next opportunity will be for the state title, so I can, have the state title before I leave the amateur scene. That's definitely something that I want to do because I fought for the state title before against Trevor, but I came up short.
Right.
But that's something that I want to go back and get for sure.
No, 100%. Yeah, and it's in many ways you're a different person, you're a different fighter,
Yeah,
as is he, and it's that'd be just cool to see because that is, I mean, funny enough, I do have. Let me show you here. This is actually
oh what?
there you go. That is Brooke the Bully Mayo's California State title that she won
Okay.
back at Chris Cyborg's a Genesis event. I was like
Mm,
probably 5 or 6 years ago, maybe like five. Definitely want to say five. I wasn't even doing this when she won the title. I was like training at Fight Academy in Pasadena, but
yeah,
that is the exact title that she won that night. But that's it. That's almost like the tipping of the hat to go pro,
yeah,
like winning that state title.
yeah. For sure, I was like, I need to get the epic title, and then I want to get the state title. Just for me personally, that's what I want. That's what I want to do. And then I can just leave the scene. Off to the pros and stuff like that. But I definitely want to. That's a nice belt, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because like I want to say it was right around the last epic that I went to. I was trying to talk to uh, JT Steele and Dave Denkin
Yeah.
because there are a lot of media people, or I don't even consider myself media. I'm just an interviewer, podcaster, or whatever. But I am the first to come up through the ranks of Camo. Like
Yeah.
if not for Camo, I don't think I would have much of a career, right? Because
Yeah.
a lot of the refs and a lot of the officials, before I even got credentials to work shows and get paid to work shows, well, they were sneaking me in. Like, come
Oh
on,
yeah.
you got a black shirt? Come on. And so I am the first, I guess, personality, not fight, that came up through Camo. So I was like, can I get a honorary belt? Like, am I big enough to get an honorary belt?
Oh
You there?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, it would mean so much to have an honorary title and whatever. And then I basically got a chance to acquire Brooke Mayo's title. So I'm like, okay, I've literally got the first women's bantamweight uh, California state title. So that's cool to me. That's super cool to me. Uh,
I'm not sure if my camera's working.
yeah,
Can you see me?
you went dark.
I don't know what I did.
Well, we can hear you. No
Okay.
worries. We can hear you.
Cool.
So you were talking about turning pro, right? How important is that for you? Because again, not you know, of course, the amateur titles and ranks and records, those matter. There's absolutely matter, but you know you're going pro. You're gonna start to earn a semblance of a living, with
Yeah.
your hands plying your trade.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a goal that I want to do, but it's kind of like I'm getting into these tough fights, with these fighters who are good, and I don't know. I feel like it's time for me to make the jump. I wanna see that next level of competition, push myself to the next level, and also I'm not trying to get punched in the head for free anymore.
No, 1,000%. So, so you're saying maybe, assuming everything returns to normal, over the fight in January. I mean, no, I'm sorry, over the summer, right? To maybe, contend for the California State title in your division, the bantamweight title, and defend your epic title at the same level, and then eventually maybe turn pro after that, or do
Yeah.
you want that one in January, that amateur fight before you kind of leave to the pros?
Um. Yeah. That's sort of the plan that I got, but nothing is set in stone. Really, I'll take it a fight at a time. To be honest, I'm gonna get this next fight over with. See, I want to defend. And he look good, and yeah, I want to get a tough fight in. I want to fight Max Gamboa too. That dude wants his shot, and yeah, we could do that. But yeah, nothing's set in stone. But that's the idea. I want to defend, maybe get the state title, and then make the pro jump.
No, man, I love it. I love it. And Gabe Michael Guerrero says, "Stay positive. Stay on the positive path, young king. Now is exactly where you need to be to keep growing." No, I love that. I love that.
I
That's
appreciate that.
absolutely tremendous. And I mean, Gabe, with its gone through fight lifestyle brand, has supported many of us here on both the amateur and professional scene, me included. Every time I see that guy, he hands me some sweet, sweet swag. So thank
Yeah.
you, good sir, for all of your support. Much love, much alofas. So obviously, as we're kind of getting the shout outs out of the way, obviously there's been a lot of people that have helped you in your career and in your life,
Yeah.
Alexis. So let's get some shout outs out of the way.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Robert Rodriguez. That's the man always. Matthew Spencer, those two guys, man, I owe a lot to those guys, and I don't know if there's anything I can do to repay that, because what they gave me is priceless. These guys, they really looked out for me. They really did. They did the most. They may always make sure I'm straight. They make sure I'm good in and out of fight camp for sure. Shout out to everybody on my team. All the guys, all the 5-star guys. My brother, that dude's always pushing me, man. My parents, they're supportive. They don't like to see me. They don't like to see me fight, really, but they know that I care about it a lot and it's my passion. So they're there for it. Yeah, man, those people, man, and anybody who really supports me, my friends, my like some people reach out to me, just giving me words of encouragement, and maybe I don't always show it, but I really appreciate those words.
That's tremendous. And those words and those lessons will carry you to the next phase of not just your life and not just your career, but just your path and your walk into success in whatever it is you do.
Yeah, for sure.
And Gabe says, we love you, MOG. Mog. So that's Matthew Spencer. So shout out to Matt. Shout out to Matt. Now, Alexis, obviously,
give me 1 second, Adam. I'm gonna grab my charger real quick.
Okay. No, actually, so what I was going to say is, like, where can people find you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram, forever_humilde. That's humble in Spanish. Forever_humble. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
There it is. There it is. Well, Alexis, thank you so much for joining us here at According to Woods. Thank you guys for joining us here. And if you haven't already done so, like, share, and subscribe to the According to Woods podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Yes, we're on Twitch. And again, before we leave, I just want to give my most heartfelt condolences to the Galaza family and their loss of a warrior in many respects, Jason Galaza. So gonna go ahead and leave that up there. I thank you guys for joining us. We're